Hello, hello, and welcome, everyone. I am your host and one of the producers of the LizyT show. How are you doing today? I am so excited to be able to talk to you. It is Monday. We're back again. I love Mondays because that's the time that we actually get to see and talk to each other and network. So this is what it's all about, networking and getting to know incredible people from all across this beautiful country, Canada, and obviously all around the world because we are not only in Canada, but we have a huge following in United States, in the UK, Australia, and we've gone as far as South America, and the list goes on. I think we have about 84 or 85 countries worldwide right now. So I'm very excited to be able to bring to you today somebody from Canada, all west of Canada. Some of you have not heard about this province, but yeah, this there's artists and there is a lot of good people and incredible people with incredible stories right in this beautiful country. So I'm very excited to be able to bring this guest to you. Before I forget, if you are wondering where we are on social media, we're everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, we are, my goodness, my YouTube channel, and obviously we are on my webpage, thelizyt.com. So if you're interested in being part of us, just connect with us. We love for us to interact with you. So do not hesitate. Um, if you would like to ask, if you would like to be on the show, do not hesitate also to connect with us via our website, thelizyt.com. There is a form that you can fill out, see if it's a right fit, or through our social media, DM me, Facebook me, or whatever. TheLizyT.com. It is the website. And if you're a singer songwriter, if you're a musician, if you are a author that has that book that would like to talk about, if you are a coach, if you have started a brand new business, maybe we can connect. So do not hesitate to connect with us. Sponsor, we're always looking for a sponsor. Without your contribution, your show cannot be possible. So make sure that you connect as well for sponsorship packages. We have several, and I know that there's one right for you. We can mention your business every time we're on the air. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to skip out a little bit. You can still hear me. And I will be reading a little bio from our guest. Her name is Debbie McCulloch, and she is from Rosetown, Saskatchewan. My one of my favorite places in the world because that's what my husband is from. He is a mother of three growing children. Although she enjoys her role as the grandmother and two grandsons, Debbie considers herself extremely fortunate to have worked for the community of pharmacy for 40 years and being retired in 2018. Debbie has extremely involved with the pharmacy professional, both at the provincial level and become the president of the regulatory authority, and later working her way up into the president national regulatory pharmacy authority of Canada. She has recently has numbers of awards recognizing her accomplishment in the pharmacy profession, including pharmacist of the year and in Saskatchewan, and an alumni influence award of the University of Saskatchewan. Debbie love of people and learning about their life led her to pursue the world of podcasting. So she's a fellow podcaster, and 2023. So it's been recent. Launched her very first episode, and I love the name Older and Bolder, where and she interviews women who fiercely, fabulously 50 plus, I am. And it was after many other close family members passed away and far young that Debbie became passionate about spreading the message that growing older is a gift and appreciate the embrace of that um, celebrating 50. So Yes, I'm here with you, Debbie, all 100%. I'm so excited to be able to talk to someone who understand podcasting, understand the challenges, and understand the joy of communicating around the world with incredible people, finding out incredible stories. So, without further ado, everyone, I'd love to introduce to you, Debbie, to the stage with a wonderful round of applause. Hello, Debbie, and welcome to Toronto, virtually, anyways. How are you doing this afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing great. And I'm really excited to be here as a fellow Canadian and a fellow podcaster. And yeah, thank you so much for inviting me on your show, Lizzie.
It was our first meeting, and she belongs to a network of podcasts where we kind of see who is doing what and who can be in each other's podcasts. And I thought, oh, over 50, yeah, definitely am in. And not only that, life does not end at retirement. It does. I believe that life starts at retirement. That's when you have your second look, your second career, your second chance. You're maybe working on a dream that you have put on back burner and not in being able to develop. And here we are, both of us. I've been doing this a little longer than you, but you know, fulfilling ourselves, our life with this incredible passion, this incredible dream to reach the world and to showcase incredible people through this tiny little network, thanks to the internet. So, one of the things that I love to ask you is, your career has completely shifted. Obviously, you retired, but instead of taking knitting 101, what happened? How did you? Why podcasting? What happened?
Well, that's a good question. I do love podcasting as you do, Lizzie. And when I retired from being a community pharmacist, at first it was I wanted to travel and I wanted to do other things, but I've always enjoyed writing. And I had done considerable amount of public speaking, more in the healthcare field or at community events, those kinds of things. I'd never done it professionally, but anyway, I was really my why for wanting to do the podcast Older and Bolder was really my passion about that these years are really a gift. I've had many family members that passed away far too early, and I really saw in my pharmacy career a big difference in how people embrace or fear growing older. So I just thought it's a good message, and podcasting kind of intrigued me. So I dove in and started looking into it and found maybe I can try this as a hobby. My husband was very supportive. And then unfortunately he became ill. I put it on the back burner for a while as he became sicker and sicker. And then he did pass away in 2022. And that made me all the more passionate to realize that this was a project I really wanted to pursue and spread that message. And so I started it. I launched in March of 2023, and I interview women who are fearless, fabulous, and 50 plus. And my guests range in age from just turning 50 all the way. My oldest guest so far has been 93, and everything in between.
Wow, that's incredible. Did you get inspired by another podcaster that you saw? Because, and I'm not saying, nevertheless, is definitely not my intention to. Older ladies like ourselves are not that techy, and I remember when I was researching this, 8 years ago when I started, nine is going to be, it was not a lot of information. So now it's the thing. Now it's popular. Now everybody's doing it. But back then, there were very few people, far in between, that was doing, online radio, what it used to be called. Now it's podcast, or whether it's audio or video. But did you? get inspired by someone out there that had a show similar to what you wanted to bring, um, the knowledge of it. I'm very curious who other than yourself, obviously, who inspire you? What did you see? What did you hear that I thought, huh?
Well, that's a good question. I loved listening to podcasts. So there were many of them that I started listening to. The first ones I started listening to was just to help with my Spanish because I was, so I'd listen in the car. In Saskatchewan, we drive long distances everywhere. And I would listen to audio tapes in Spanish. But the ones that really interested me were the interview shows, and there wasn't one in particular, but many of them, and and the technology did kind of scare me. So I just kind of looked on the internet. I wonder if there was somebody that could help me with that part of it. And I really lucked out in finding my editor and producer, Christina Chernesky. She was offering workshops, and when I looked into it, I thought, do you know what? I don't think that's the part I would enjoy the most. And I am similar to you. It's like technology isn't my forte. I thought the rest of it I would enjoy more and be more suited to. But um, I get her to do my editing and producing. So she adds the music and edits my recordings. And I do my interviews over Zoom. And so I don't do most of that part. I still had to learn quite a bit of things about the technology, but the parts I love doing is preparing, meeting the people, doing the interviewing myself, and then I leave the other technology parts up to her. So that was a real gift to find her.
Yes, yeah, and I have to say, when it comes to editing, again, it's not my forte either. I leave that to my husband, but thankful to other platforms like this one that I'm using or Zoom. They're very similar. You and we do live most of them, unless somebody really ask, can we do this? And promote it and then launch it later on, especially if it's a book launch. It is a dread for me because I know that the person has that there in mind, that it is going to be edited, so I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I can, I'm going to let the person to edit. So fortunate, I don't do a lot of editing. First of all, it's not my forte. My husband does it, and second of all, we do a lot of live show, which is very helpful. However, we do some radio as well, which the person is definitely not comfortable speaking live because they feel, the eyes are going to be on them. Right now we have a couple of people watching live, and so far so good. By the way, if you were interested in commenting, saying hello, asking question, maybe you would like to have your own podcast one day. Yeah, just it's a chance for you to interact with us. That leads me to my next takeaway. You've been doing this for about a year or so, and what would you say is one of the hardest thing for you when you're interviewing somebody? And I assume that you probably are getting people that are not as easy as talking like me and you. They have that difficulties. They pause. They think. They don't know what to say. How do you help them?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to really listen to what they're saying and show a keen interest. And my show, I like it to sound like two friends having coffee. So most of my guests have said they're nervous before we start, especially the ones who aren't familiar with or had a lot of experience with being interviewed. And I do have many that have never been on a podcast before. Some of them are very comfortable in front of a mic, and many others are not at all. But I think it's really to just put them at ease and just say it's a conversation and just lead them into things that they're interested in talking about and be interested in their life, which I am. I'm so interested in the guests I have, and I've been very fortunate to have such interesting women on my show. But
Mhm.
yeah, don't you find that too, Lizzie? Like it's really listening to see what they're going to say. And then usually it just flows, just like having a conversation with a friend.
And that's one of the things that I usually do as well, is I say to the person right off the bat, just pretend that we're talking, or you're talking to your best friend, somebody who you haven't seen for 20 years, that's way back in high school, and you're telling them all about what's been going on in your life, and you're basically giving them a summary of your life, but this used to be your best friend. So that frame, that mentality actually stays with them, and they feel a lot more comfortable. Sometimes it's that if it takes for you to grab a glass of wine, or if it takes you to get some tea and water, just do that. Grab it. I always make sure my guests have a glass of water, whatever favorite drink they like. I do have it myself. Uh, and it makes it easier for them to relax and being able to, like you said, listen is very, very important. What would you say is the most rewarding part of doing this right now? You've been doing it for a little while, and you see, hey, I can get addicted to this, because I am. Most of the time I do it for me, but that you can say, wow, this is I can keep doing this, this is so incredible.
Well, there's actually more than one thing that I just love about it. So I'll talk to two different parts. The one part is really learning and getting to know some of these incredible guests, all of them. So preparing for it, I always learn more and more about the guests, some of them that I've known of before, some that are totally new to me. And I'm always so inspired by them. So I really love preparing for them. And then during the interview, there's always different things that come up that I learn even more. And I'm always inspired by them. But then after the show launches, I'm also really fulfilled by so much of the feedback I get and my guests get from a lot of people that will say how inspired they were or something that resonated with them about what my guest was talking about. So I think we're all moved by stories, and that keeps me going as well. I'm like, "Oh, that is really fulfilling and rewarding when you think someone that could be anywhere in the world and my show is like yours. I'm amazed by the people that listen that are in Europe and Asia and South America and Australia and different countries. I have more listeners in Canada and the US, but it is really in so many different countries and the Middle East as well. But when people resonate with something they've heard on the show and respond to that, that really fills your heart.
I love it. I love it. You're getting a following. You're getting your show across not only Canada and the U.S. but the world. So that deserves a nice warm run of applause. Great, great, and the sky's the
Thank
limit. You know,
you.
once you get on a road, once you start discovering people, and they start looking for you instead of you searching. I think that's when you said, "I think I'm becoming popular. I think this is gonna work. I think I can do this. Maybe I can monetize. Maybe I can train." So you were talking about how much you learn from your guests, how much you get value, how much you appreciate what they're teaching sometimes, or how you grow. Any person that ring comes to mind right now that have been on your show that has inspired you or overwhelmed you or got you, wow, I never realized, or I'm so shock of what they've done or what they accomplished. Anybody that comes to mind right now that you can say, wow, I never expected this. Who am I to talk to or to interview somebody like?
Exactly. I've had many, many guests, and some of them are well known before or not. One that comes to mind that I interviewed not too long ago, her episode was released a little while ago, was Mary Beth O'Connor. And she actually was a meth drug addict in her teens and 20s, and then became clean at age 32, went to law school, graduated law school at age 42, and then ended up becoming a judge. And she wrote a book from junkie to judge, and her story is just incredible. She's so smart, so well spoken, but she's had a past that we can't even imagine. So she's one that comes to mind right away. There are so many others that have pursued different passions once they retired from their first career or pivoted in their 50s. Someone that runs a modeling casting agency in New York. She became a model at the age of 68 and is still going strong. Just there's really, really so many that really come to mind. A friend, one of my first episodes, a friend in her mid 50s went back to university and became a registered nurse, got her nursing degree, and I was so proud of her for that. But an incredible story, and just so many different guests that do incredible things or have overcome adversities in amazing ways.
Doesn't it make you feel that, you're not alone, definitely not alone in this world. There's a lot of common denominators, there's a lot of common things between you and other people, and makes you think like if they are able to do it, just like the person that you interviewed that it was into addiction and now they're doing incredible things. I mean, to me, and I've had the same experiences, people that have been very, very low in their life, and all of a sudden, they're doing incredible things. They're writing books. They're going around the world, educating, coaching, motivational, speaking to others and telling their stories. And that makes you think, how God allows sometimes for somebody to go really low so they can be testimony, so they can be a vessel to help others in their struggles and their times of need. And they can look and say, wow, if you did it, or if you were able to go back to school at the age of whatever, why shouldn't I? And
Mhm,
I think that's one of the key goals in my show, anyways, is to be able to inspire at least one person that is watching on the other side of the world. Maybe is having a a bad time. Maybe is going through the web, and all of a sudden, hey, there. What is this I'm seeing on Twitch? What is this I'm seeing on Facebook, on YouTube? That's oh wow, this is so for that one person that is probably thinking, life is not worth it, but they turn themselves around because of the guests that we have online. To me, that's my job. I'm fulfilled. I'm complete. I want nothing else than help that one person that needs it. So I understand. I get you.
mhm.
It's very rewarding. What would you say the challenges, Debbie, for running a podcast or doing this? I know mine, but I'd love to hear from you. What are yours?
Um, One of the first challenges was the technology part, and now I feel comfortable in the part that I'm doing because that, as I said before, wasn't my forte. Par the other parts, I guess, are, to start with, it was getting over my nervousness and believing that I actually could be a podcast host, and then being my own worst critic. Some of the time, I'd listen and I'd think, "Okay, I shouldn't be saying that word so much," or or this or that. But, the more I do, it's really practice and experience, and even if I felt I could have done better in an interview, I still feel really happy that I'm doing it, and it's like when we learn anything new or practice something new, and before we ever start, we doubt ourselves, and then now I feel like I can really say I'm a podcast host. In the first few episodes, I almost hesitated to tell people I was doing it or trying it because you doubt yourself. But that was a lot of it. The rest of it I do really enjoy, and it mostly has fallen all into place.
Yes, yes. I remember myself listening now after so many years, my very first shows, and I was like, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Why did I even sound that way? The relaxation really comes to be able to open up your chest and your vocal cords to just let it happen. Obviously, having a good mic that we don't have to yell as much.
Mhm.
But absolutely, we're the worst critics of
Mhm.
ourselves. And when we look at a past shows, oh, it was like I want to delete it, but I don't, because it makes us feel that, hey, we have grown from
Mhm.
here to here now, and we have so much growth to do still. And we're constantly updating and changing things around in the studio and making sure that, we have a couple of cameras now. And so it is a constant growth, and I don't think we're ever going to stop growing, because this is who we are. We are a podcaster, and we like to make sure that we're unique. You have your own uniqueness, I have mine, and many others. And we have to admit that not everybody's going to like Debbie or Lizzie, but
Uh,
there's a lot of people that will, and we are not going to be the fit for everyone. Obviously, you have your genre, which is 50
mhm.
plus, and obviously that's who you're going to target. So great
Mhm.
for you that you have that set already. For people that are watching, and obviously I love to send people to you for you to interview. I know that you're targeting ladies, but any
Mhm.
thought of doing guys, or getting into different things? And question number one. Question number two is, tell us where people can find you.
Okay. Well, as far as for guys, I didn't really want to exclude them to start with, but my first few guests were women, and I thought that was really my comfort zone to start with. So right now I am limiting it to women, and I think as women we're a little more used to speaking with each other. So I may expand to men in the future. I'm not totally ruling it out, but right now I am interviewing women. My podcast can be found on all of the usual platforms. It's called Older and Bolder with Debbie McCulloch, and it's found on Apple, Spotify, Google, and SoundCloud. And I do have a website that's being built right now. It should be launched this week. And it's called Older, and it's under olderandbolder.ca. So I can be found there as well, and on Facebook and Instagram.
Beautiful. So I'm going to be sharing this that is part of your website as well. Well, it's going to be obviously part of your website, which is your SoundCloud, for people to kind of have an idea what it looks like. And so if they come across this beautiful poster, love it, love the pictures. You look amazing. Older and Bolder. So there it is in SoundCloud. So if you are older and bolder, and you think, hey, I'm in Canada. I am doing my book launch. I am promoting my coaching business. I am singing after retiring at the age of 60. And I have a brand new song that I would like to share with the world. Give a call and connect with Debbie. You are not going to regret it. She is so friendly. When we first connected last week, we were talking fair amount, and very easy to be able to communicate with each other and make him feel comfortable. And that's one of the things that we want to do. The stage is yours. We're just the host, but we want to make sure that you are the star and that you are succeeding. And the purpose of you being here is for whatever reason that you have right now, whether it's again promoting a book, or launching your career, a different path. That's what we're here for, to help you out, and to make sure more people get to know you.
Mhm.
um, the other thing I wanted to say is, for people that are contemplating, and I'm doing that myself right now, helping fellow inspiring podcaster to start their podcast. So if you're interested in coaching, give me a shout as well. What would you say to someone that is on the fence and like, I do have this content, and I am right now doing this, but it would be nice for me to have at least a once a month, or maybe every 15 days a podcast, but I'm not sure if I should do it. I'm shy. I'm nervous. What would you say to that someone that is probably should do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if they're thinking about it at all and they have an idea, I would say definitely go for it. You don't have a lot to lose. If you don't try it, you know for sure you won't ever have your podcast. But the rewards can be many. The joy is really out there. It's a great way to spread whatever message you feel passionate about and to spread the message of other people that you may want to interview on your show. So it's really a nice opportunity, and there's no time like now. Podcasting is growing everywhere in the world, and especially in Canada. The number of people that are listening to podcasts and know about podcasts is growing and growing. So I would say just go for it.
Absolutely, great advice. Yes, and not only that, it's a way of networking and expanding your network. Because we were just talking. I mean, in a way of collaborating. We're considering collaborating each other's podcasts right now.
Mhm.
So I mean, this is growth for you, and it's growth for us, and it's the growth for my followers and her followers. So it's a win-win. And when it comes to being shy and all that, you could always don't do the screen. You just do the voice, do the audio, and don't worry about showing your pretty face into this camera, which is intimidating. I confess it took me a while for me to feel comfortable doing the video, but once you're doing it, it's like anything else, like learning how to ride a bike and learning how to ride your car. I remember first driving lessons that were just horrible, especially after doing teaching my daughters how to do that. So it's like anything. And then you're just like, what is the big deal? And you will look back at your podcast later on and laugh about it and have a good time with yourself. Um, what friends and family members that are starting to get to know you as the podcaster of Saskatchewan, what's the feedback? And I'm pretty sure they're amazing. People are very supportive, but I love to hear, comments that you've heard, or somebody just came across to one of your podcasts, and I listened to one. So I mean, I love it, but I love to hear, what people have to say about Debbie.
Well, a lot of people have said they're proud of me for doing it. And a lot of people, my message as far as growing older with appreciation and gratitude and passion has resonated with many people. So I get lots of good feedback, but a lot of it relates to my guests as well. So some of my guests really go out of their way to make a difference for others, and with nonprofits and volunteering. And a lot of people are inspired by that. A lot of people have one guest I had that started a cooking school in Italy. She quit her teaching job. She was from the US, from New Orleans, and they now have this amazing cooking school in Tuscany, Italy, that's now expanded to Mexico and Sicily and France. And many of my friends now and myself are going to attend that. And I know some other people in Saskatchewan, another group of women that are going to attend that cooking school as well, and just open up our experiences and adventures. There's many things like that where somebody has said they've listened to one of the episodes and been propelled to do something.
Wonderful. And we just got a Kabi. Kani Noor is watching with you. So thank you so much for the comment, and for telling us you're watching. I'm not sure where this person is from. Sounds somewhere in the Middle East, but thank you so much for your comment. Um, Now, Debbie, because if you would have asked me that question 8 years ago, what would you plan to do? And I love to ask this question because the theme of the show is tell us who you are and what you do. Contact info. We've answered that.
Mhm.
Anything new? What is your dream of bringing this podcast to? Perhaps a book, perhaps coaching, perhaps I don't know. Have that even crossed your mind of seeing how can I see myself in a couple of years, in 5 years? How big can this be, or just stay as you are? I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think I do want to always stay uniquely me. And I love your comment about not everyone's going to love what I do or what you do, but there are people that resonate with both of our shows, and we want to be authentic to ourselves. But I have kind of thought about that. I think the stories of my guests would make an incredible book. I haven't started doing all that, but I definitely have kept all my notes and preparation, and of course I have the podcast episodes, but I have thought about a book and perhaps doing some public speaking as well. That is something that I do enjoy. I have had an opportunity to facilitate a workshop and related to resilience because of hosting my show. So we'll see where it leads to, but in the meantime, I'm just going to keep enjoying it and see what happens. But I could see perhaps myself trying to be an author and maybe a public speaker as well. But we'll see where that goes.
Good for you. Good for you. And the fact that you even have that in your mind, and that's incredible. And that's how basically what I did. There was so many great stories that I couldn't pass, and I'm like, how am I gonna pick? So I just won 9 great stories from the LizyT show. It's very small publishing, and then all of a sudden I decided to, which it was a very traumatic experience that I had to write my bio, which is right here, my book, Greener Pasture, where I have to talk about my life and abuse that I went through a long time ago. So it was therapy, but it was very tough to kind of let the world know about yourself. But absolutely, books. It's really it's like a business card in steroid. Once you have a book, people kind of look at you better. Oh, you're an author. So
Mhm.
absolutely, I support that 100%, Debbie. Make sure that you do write those stories. The hardest part will be who do I pick, because the book it can be that long, and you feel bad if, oh my goodness, I can't forget not to pick this person, oh I can't forget. So just your I don't know, your best 10 or your best 15, I don't know how you're going to do it, but absolutely. And it's going to help you. The credibility as an author I think is a lot higher. And public speaking again, venues and places where people are needed of a platform. We are in such a high demand right now. Like I said at the beginning, that was me looking after who is going to be on my next show. Now it's like I don't have time to have you on my show. Let me book you for I don't know, just Monday next year or something like that, which is a good problem to have. So public speaking is also going to be a good way of you bringing people to your audience. Love it, love it.
Mhm.
I know that we're doing great with time. It's only been 38 minutes, but if you are interested, everyone, of connecting with us, any uh, if you would like to reach out with us through our Facebook or Instagram or my website, my YouTube channel, you can always do that. LizyT.com is the website, and Facebook as well. We are pretty much in all social media, as you can see here, and Twitch, IGTV. We're broadcasting live through all those network right now. And for Debbie, you can always reach her out through Instagram as well.
Mhm.
Um, do you get a lot of connections or from Instagram? Do you find that are you able to do your Instagram yourself, or you still have your editor to help you with that?
Yeah, I don't do much my social media myself, a little bit, but she does most of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
and
I
I know something that's what we, as a business owner or podcaster or whatever,
Mhm,
we have to kind of get our hands in. And I know there's a lot of things that I delegate, but there's a lot of things that I want to be able to kind of see it myself and
mhm.
see what can I do and how can I get involved and connect with my audience. So yeah, Instagram and definitely is one of the ones that you're probably going to have to get a little tips from your assistant. Said how do I check the messages,
Yeah,
because people want to connect through it.
exactly,
Absolutely. Hmm.
exactly.
Have you ever done an Instagram live to feel what it's like to have a little bit of leave the Zoom and kind of get into the a little bit more networking or more connection? Because I know with Instagram live is it's all at once.
Yeah, I have not done that yet, but I can see it being on the horizon, and this
Absolutely.
seems to be a more popular thing for people to do too, the Instagram Live or the Facebook Live. But I haven't done that yet, but we'll see if that's part of the future or not.
I think it will be a great addition to your podcast, just to do a couple of them a week or maybe a month, and kind of give an update what's going on with Debbie. And that's really
Mhm,
what it is. I mean, people are curious about, are you in social? Are you active? Are you
mhm,
broadcasting? Are you telling people who is going to be next on the show? Are you requesting people to be on your show? Is there anything for me? And that's really the reason. What is in it
mhm,
for me? What am I going
mhm.
to learn? How are you going to inspire me? Are you going to give me an answer for my problems that I'm going through right now? And most of the time, uh, your guest is bringing you inspiration and solutions and ideas that they can definitely influence or inspire someone
Mhm,
else. Love
mhm,
it, love it.
mhm.
Yeah, so it's been incredible talk with you. I know we could talk for hours, and you are so lovely. And your shows, by the way, are weeklies or monthly?
They do come out every week. Every Tuesday, I have a new episode, and yeah, I expect to continue to do that. I did take a break last summer, and I didn't have episodes releasing in July and August. But I think I will probably at least have some releasing through those summer months this year too. And yeah, so every Tuesday a new episode comes out, and I do have some amazing guests that their episodes are to be launched yet. One thing, if I may, Lizzie, that I did want to bring up, because April 7th is coming up very soon, and one of my incredible guests was Bernadine Boulay, who unfortunately lost her son in that horrific Humboldt Broncos bus crash. And her son
Wow.
Logan passed away because of that crash, but they did donate his organs. And right across Canada and even across North America and in other countries as well, there became a phenomena known as
Mhm.
the Logan Boulet effect, that there was all of a sudden 150,000 new organ donor registrants because of that. So they
Wow.
started Green Shirt Day, and Green Shirt Day is going to happen April 7th. It's every year. They are ambassadors, Bernadine and her husband Toby, and she was one of my guests. So I just wanted to put a plug in for that, because
Absolutely.
it creates
Thank you.
awareness. But that's such a great example of one of my guests that took a terrible tragedy and terrible adversity. Our um our interview was very emotional, and she did an amazing job describing everything that happened. But then the wonderful movement that happened because of her and her husband promoting organ donation, and Logan Spirit promoting organ donation all around the world, and saving lives and improving the quality of life of so many people.
Wow, wow, that must be an so this is coming up next Tuesday?
April the 7th.
Oh, April the 7th.
Yeah, well, April the 7th, whatever day of the week that is, every year on April 7th is Green Shirt Day. So we can get our green shirts out. There's a website where you can order special green shirts. And in Saskatchewan, we love our Rider Green, our Saskatchewan
Yes.
Rider football team. So most of us have green shirts already. But there's a movement where buildings are going to light up green, and people are encouraged to wear green shirts and to register to be an organ donor to help.
So your interview with her had taken place already, so that
Oh,
was
yes, it was released a while ago, yes.
okay, okay. Beautiful. So we can promote that as well. And obviously talked about Green Shirt on April 7th. Next tomorrow, you have another show. And who are you able to let us know who is coming?
Yes, okay. The show that is releasing tomorrow, her name is Saba Moore Doucette, and she became a bikini diva at the age of 68 and
Wow.
has won 12 years in a row. She's now 81 years old. She was in show business as a dancer, a producer, a comedian. She had a show in Vegas for a long time. She lives in California, and she's just so energetic, so vivacious. She works out all the time, and she will
Of
be
course.
competing for her 13th title, I think, to be
Wow.
named Bikini Diva International, and it's all natural. They test them to make sure they're not on steroids or anything. She's in incredible shape, has incredible energy, and just does so many things. So she's the guest that will be released tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that one, especially tips on, uh, what foods and what exercise, especially for us lady at over the age of 55. It has been such a challenge
Mhm.
to keep our fitness. I know I speak for experience. I used to be a marathon runner and Muay Thai and all that, and an injury just set me back. And anyhow, I definitely can learn some tips from her. I
Yeah, she's got a
absolutely.
lot of good ones, and she's very high energy, and it's yeah, she was a lot of fun too.
I can imagine. I can't wait for that one. Well,
Mhm.
Debbie, I know it's been almost 50 minutes that we've been here in the air, but it's been a blast. I mean, you are incredible. Congratulations and doing what you love to do and finding a brand new passion, finding your call, finding your new why. And I know that keeps you motivated every day. Who am I gonna have? How is this gonna go? Am I prepared enough? And you never are.
Mhm.
And I know that this is what I feel. So I think I'm
Yeah,
speaking from experience.
yeah, you
It's
are,
always
you are.
it's always a big high, and once it's over, it was like, huh, I run that marathon, and here again, gonna train for the next one. So I know exactly how you feel. Keep going. You're doing amazing. It's been such an honor and privilege to actually get to know you. I know we do have a trip to Saskatchewan coming up in the summer, so hopefully we get to meet and take some selfies together, fellow podcaster. Congratulations again, all the best, and we are going to keep in touch. I mean, whenever you need a guest and I need a guest to go to you, we'll be sharing for sure.
For sure, I'd love to stay connected with you, Lizzie, and it's been a great honor for me to be on your show. I've really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for all you do and spreading all these positive messages on the Lizzie T show. So I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. Well, this is it for now, everyone. If you are interested in connecting with us or with Debbie, please do not hesitate. DM me, email me, or put a message on all the social media. We'll be back with another guest, another show. I am your host and one of the producers. Make sure you follow on YouTube as well. Subscribe, and we'll be back soon. I'm your host and one of the producers of the LizyT Show. We'll see you soon. Bye bye for now. Bye, Debbie.
Bye bye. Thanks again, Lizzie.